Hey everybody, I'm your host Strategic Jordan, and here we have an update for Battle Brothers, the World Map Update Preview. So I said I'd be doing some videos on the updates. Let's just take a look.
From World Studios, and today I have a very special treat for you, a holiday
That German
treat,
accent.
and that is our development build. In this video we will show you the current state of the game, and everything we talked about in the past dev blogs will be in this, so you can see for yourself how far the development of the game is.
Cool. There was a lot of updates.
For the big update now has a date, and that is February. So it's pretty soon that you will get your hands on this. And in this video I just want to give you a very quick, very short overview of the things we have put in the game so far. If you want to know more about each of the features I'm mentioning, you should head over to our blog and
owner flag.
The blog post from the past weeks, and there we get some more detailed information. Anyways, first thing you will see is that we now have sea and coast tiles, and the world map looks completely different. We have sea tiles all over the place. We have like a real continent. There's snow in the north, then we have some dry highlands, then we have some fern trees, some lush grasslands, and in the south we have a completely new environment. We call it steppe environment. It's like dry and hot
Savannah.
And each of these regions get their unique names, like the Brittle Branch Woods, for example, or Baleford over here. And we did this to add a sense of history to the place, like actual people living there and naming their environments. Of course, all of these will change for each new world generated. What you can also see is that the color palette has changed a little. We reworked all tiles that you can see on the world maps, completely new grass tiles, new swamp tiles, new mountains, and Paul, our art guy, he completely redid all of this. Only a couple of these trees and these trees are the same, but despite that we redid all of the stuff, I think to a pretty good effect. So what else you can see on the world map is, I will show you later. I'm gonna start a new map at the end of the video so you can see how differently that will look.
Okay,
you can see a fog of war.
Yes.
We added that to give more sense to your exploration efforts everywhere.
Okay, just real quick, because it doesn't look like he's going to bring it up yet. He might bring it up later in the video, but see, different flags. Those are different nations. Like here, we have this lion shield guys. They seem to control about this area here. We have these mountainous northern people that seem to be content around this mountain range. We have these sea. This nation is interesting. It seems to be all coastal. Oh, dude, that's cool. And, you know, these nations will war with each other. That was brought up. So, I can't wait.
Where people living, you know the surroundings and the environment, but where there are no settlements over here on the western part of the map, there's uncharted territory, and maybe you should settle out there and do some expeditions, and maybe you can find some treasures or some monsters, probably both. But that's another thing you can do besides just doing contracts, is heading out into the wild and exploring. So you can see that we have different kinds of settlements on the world map. Beforehand they all looked all the same. This is a small civil town, and for example, this is a small military encampment. You can select a small castle over here with a moat. And this is like a medium town, so this is a big civil town. You can see I have different houses around them. It's much bigger, and it's very intuitive that over there you will find a lot more people to hire, more stuff to buy, and so on.
Interesting.
So let's go into this.
So it's not just larger and different towns, but they also have specialties. Like you said, this is a small civic town, and the one with the castle was a small military encampment that looked like it was growing into a town. That's actually really interesting, and something I can't wait to look up in February. I didn't know it was that close. I knew it was 2016, but I figured like maybe summer 2016. Not fucking February. Jeez.
A little fishing village it is. You can see that over here you have fishing huts and a small harbor. So maybe we're gonna see that on the inside as well. This is the completely reworked village screen, and it has nothing in common with the thing we had before. So here you can see the environment. This is grasslands, of course. The size, it's very small. It's a civil settlement, and the buildings, the special buildings we have over here, you can interact with. So we have the harbor, which is used for fast traveling, completely new concept, and for our game, and the marketplace. Every settlement has a marketplace, and there you have like a really small crowd of people you can hire, and this is the temple that will be added later.
Oh, not
So,
quite
we
implemented.
will assume that we, in this marketplace, we will find some local produce, and that is mainly fish. You can see over here, and then we have fishing nets, spears, typical fishing equipment, and on the marketplace, the thing is that you will get damaged equipment as well. You can see this 45% or 40%. These things, some of them are damaged because they have been used a lot, and they are of rather low quality. But you can find the occasionally very cheap offers over here, so it's always worth a look. Regarding the food items, before we just had provisions, but we added different kinds of food items, like these are ground grains and or roots and berries or dried fish, for example, and they vary in the time until they spoil, and with the price, of course. So the more durable a food item is, the higher the price usually. And of course we added these as well to give the settlements a more regional feeling. Like if you have a settlement that's in the forest, they will probably have a lot of cured venison over there. And if you have one by the sea, of course you have some fish. So
interesting.
The marketplace is not the only place where you can get items. Other settlements will have a smithy where you can get real high-grade armor, but
probably military and larger settlements.
Let's have a quick look at the roster here. We did the same thing we did to the
not a lot of pickings
to the hiring screen, because here you can see the backgrounds you can hire. These are two fishermen and a thief. The backgrounds you can hire relate to the settlement. So if it's a fishing village, you will have lots of fishermen. If it's a military settlement, you will have maybe some deserters or other guys you can hire over there. And we did all this to make the settlements really unique. So one settlement with a unique name and description and its unique looks and different wares you can buy there really stands out from another one. So let's go to a bigger settlement. We used the fast travel option. So a ship by the name of Marathon will bring us to the next town. For a small fee, of course. Let's do that.
Not that bad a cost. Woo!
Now you can see a lot of different things. You can see there's a different background, a different color palette.
There's a lot of people to hire.
You can see that over here. Also, it's a very big town hall. You can see these really high, big houses, and they look really expensive. And it's got a lot of different stuff going on over here. So this is, of course, this is a sea city as well, so lots of fish. But this will have a lot bigger variety of guys you can hire, because it's a really huge city. Of course, you have some fishermen over here, but it's a huge harbor city like this attracts all kinds of characters. So if you are looking to hire people, a bigger city is usually better. So these are the
those must be contracts
buildings
up here
available that we are adding over time. And for example, the tavern, which we still haven't implemented fully into the game, which will allow you to rest for the night, and other buildings as well. So let's have a look at one of the most drastic changes as well, and that is the factions. So now we decided to split the human faction into different noble houses. Here we'll start each game with 3 noble houses, and these noble houses will have different settlements they have under their control, and they will wrestle with each other over the control of these settlements. Each house, of course, has their own name, a motto. Every man for himself is the motto of House Niedergard, and 4 faction leaders. So each of them has their own name and their own face, And once you are taking on contracts, you will be able to meet these guys, and some of them even will be met on the battlefield and can be killed. So you can actually meet these guys, talk to them, and kill them.
That's cool.
So let's just zoom out a little bit so you can see the different factions. You can see that this house, the green house, is in the north, and the other two are more in the southern part of the map. And
one is
so
entirely
you can see
coastal.
with one look where the influence of these houses is, and of course the settlements can change their owner. Let's get into this and see that we have two contracts over here. The contract system was very, very rudimentary we had before. It was very simple, and
Overly simple, really.
Band of mercenaries, you should have very interesting contracts and a lot more variety in the contracts, and that's what we are focusing on. So let's have a look at this contract. You can see this guy in the top you're talking to, Sir Lancel Weilburg, and he's actually one of the guys from the House of Weilburg. And he starts talking to you. So let's look at what kind of contract. This is one of the first contracts we have implemented, and it's already a pretty interesting one. So Lancel asks us to do him a favor, which is which we must not tell anyone about. And it comes out that there's a village named of Tannweiler, and Tannweiler is a small little village that his house wants to take control of, or as he puts it, he wants to offer them protection. But unfortunately, they are convinced that they don't need protection, so he has to prove them otherwise. He's hiring us to make a fake bandit attack on one of the attached locations and kill all the peasants there. And after that, the leaders of the town will come to him and look for protection. So the most important thing is that it doesn't come out that it's mercenaries and not bandits doing the attack. So we have to go there, kill all the peasants, and if one of the peasants escapes, there's a chance that he will tell who's actually behind the attacks.
Yeah, but how would they
then
know?
Sir Lancel will be very angry with us. So, in the next step, you will have the ability to negotiate your payment. This is a new concept we put into the game because we think negotiating your contract is a very crucial part of being a mercenary. And we added a new feature, and that is payment in advance. So if you are very low on mercenaries and on equipment, you can ask for an advance payment. Now I just did it. So he will be offering to pay us 40 crowns in advance. It's not that much, but for higher paying contracts, you can get a lot more. So you can actually get money in advance and then buy some new guys, some new equipment, so that you're better in a better position to do the job. Okay, let's push him a little more. No, he won't do that. How far we can push depends on the character and of course on our renown, but
renown.
We shouldn't overdo
That,
it.
that's
because
a
at
that's a
some point
system
we
I
will
really
break
look
off
forward to
negotiations
using.
and look for somebody else. So we accept the offer. And at the end, you will see your objectives.
No,
and
it's
your
one thing
payment. So
when they
you
talk
can
about
agree
this
now,
in
or you
just
can come
the
back later. So you don't lose this, but it will stay like
you know
this.
the
and you can
text
come back and
updates.
accept it.
It's quite another to
So
actually
we just
see
accept
it.
it right now, just for showing that. And now let's leave over here. So. And that's like one of the most important parts about the contract. The second most important part is that contracts can have twists in them. So twists are changes to the contract that can happen or cannot, or depend on various factors. For example, if you are paid to raid a caravan, the caravan leader might offer a counter offer. So he will pay you for not killing him or raiding his caravan. Or maybe if you have to drive away some bandits, then it turns out that it's not actually bandits, but it's undead. When the people in the village were so scared, they didn't clearly see them. And then you have some undead ahead of you. So these contracts will have twists and turns in them, so you're never really sure what you will get.
Sounds
And
pretty awesome.
Also, they can leave you in a moral dilemma, or you really have to make some rough calls from time to time.
It's really
All
the
of
part I'm
this, of
looking
course,
forward
to
to most
increase
is
replayability
contract
and make
twist
the
and the
whole game much more
reputation
interesting.
system.
Now, one more thing I can show you is this is also a small settlement, like the fishing village, but this is in the mountains. You can clearly see that. And as a mountain village, there's a pretty high chance that there's a mine around and an armorer. So this is a specialized shop. And you can see that in the specialized shop you will have only fully graded equipment, so no used equipment. And these military grade armors, you won't get them in the marketplace, or mostly not even in a big settlement. But you can have to go somewhere where there's an armorer to get these kind of really high grade military goods. Of course, they're very expensive, as you can see over here.
$500,000
So,
just for the helmets.
when you know that there's a mining building over here and then you are in need of some armor, you sometimes have to travel a bit to get to the place. But of course this as well adds a lot of character to the settlements. And as you can see, here's the iron vein over here. So the iron vein spawns basically the armorer over here. So you can see on the world map from the resources that the settlement has, what kind of services and buildings you can expect there. By the way, here's Tanweiler, and this is the lumber camp that we offered to destroy for this noble house. So what we'll now have to do is go there and kill all the peasants. Yeah, that's right. You're not fighting bandit raiders or orcs or goblins, but just peasants, and they are really easy to dispatch.
I love this.
But
This is going to be good.
if one of the peasants flees the battlefield, then you have a really big problem because he can tell about the whole thing.
And you won't get your
It's
payday.
another twist. Like, you are not only paid to do like really rough fights, but also different goals on the tactical combat, like letting no one escape or killing a certain character, or so all to make it more interesting and give more depth to the contract.
Make a narrative,
Anyways,
basically.
this should be enough for now.
No!
And you can expect much more. And as I mentioned before,
I want to see you kill the peasants!
Release of the update will be in February. And now let's just quickly show you another world that we're generating, just to show you how differently the worlds will look that you're playing on.
Sure.
You will have different bodies of sea, of course, and completely different shape of the continents, and so on. And of course, you have a different starting position. So on this map, you have all the civilization in the western part. The eastern part is no man's land, pretty much. You can have long, like inland seas going up right here, and as you can see, you will have different noble houses. For example, like this house is another house that didn't appear before. There are a couple of different
Flags.
coats of arms for these, and of course they're procedurally generated. Anyways, that's it for now.
Alright. Damn it, I wanted to see him kill some peasants! Alright, like I said, I thought the update was going to come in like summer 2016. I didn't think it'd be February. That's really close. That's only a month away. I'm thinking of putting the Battle Brothers on hiatus until the update comes out, then restarting the Deathbringers company. Might take them a different way because of the new update and have to learn all new stuff. I might just make them heavy infantry, which is what I normally do. So, okay. I'm going to finish the StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty Let's Play, which I've been putting off for a while now because, game troubles. And put Battle Brothers on hiatus until the update comes out. And for the whole month of January, it'll be finishing StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. So, and come on, let's face it. If you have a choice of watching the current Battle Brothers or wait for this, with all the intrigue and reputation systems and just new shiny features, you probably pick this.